So this video is sponsored by Pionex, one of the exchanges I use all the time. It's one of the main crypto brokers to Binance, so the volume is very high. The main thing that sets them apart though is that you can use free trading bots, a variety all designed to benefit from different market behaviours, whether that's up, down or sideways. You'll get 20% off all your trading fees for life with my link in the description. And if you join the Telegram, a lot of us already use it, so if you've got questions we can try and help you out. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Algorand. So one of my favourites, one of the biggest alt positions I own. Actually, is it still? Because 2 of my 3 sell orders were sold on this big pump here. So I suppose it probably is overall still one of my biggest positions. Because risk to reward, I do like the way the chart looks. And you know me, based upon weeklies, that's my preference. You can't complain with this weekly. It's very nice. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And so now it looks as though we're breaking out of this triangle formation. We've got a very strong level of support that goes back, from all the way back down to our original big pump back down here. It was just short of a 200% move in September, and then the market pulled back, and basically we've been in a neat consolidation from there, not actually even going bearish. Golden crossed back here, basically diverging still for the most part, and staying within this consolidation, which is basically what this is. A triangle is a consolidation. You want to see if you're going to break out or break down. Now I know that we broke out a little bit, but the market decided that it didn't want that to take place. Again, you've got to always look for altcoin setups, but in the back of your mind, in the corner of your eye, you've got to always think about Bitcoin and the market as a whole, because you can have the best setup on an altcoin and it's definitely going to go to the moon basically, and then Bitcoin, which dominates the market, pulls back and basically says no. Now this was an anomaly wick. I can't remember exactly what it is. I don't pay attention to the fundamentals and things, but there was some kind of reason for this. But obviously the sellers, including myself, again, I woke up in the middle of in the morning really, and this had all taken place overnight, and I was back down to where I was in the first place. So the algo chart, when it comes to candles, basically hadn't changed at all. However, 2 of my 3 sell orders had been tagged, so you've got to kind of ignore that really. And also it's annoying because it kind of breaks the chart to an extent on the daily and smaller term time frames. You can see what it's done to the Ichimoku cloud. It's messed it up. We can't really use the Ichi cloud now on the daily for probably months, many months actually, so it's going to become an irrelevant indicator as a result of such a random event like that. But again, it's good. So if you have a look at the support of this formation, it's very strong. Tags over here, many tags, tagged again, tagged a couple of times recently, and now we're breaking out. So we are turning up on the money flow, MACD and RSI, which is all good news. And if we go to the weekly, this is where again we've been bullish on this for a little while, because we've got the conversion baseline over here. So this is continuation of a trend. So the trend forms here, and it should continue forward. So it's gone through a long period of consolidation, which it might be breaking out here. We want to see that candle body closure on the daily. We also want to see it on the weekly. That would be great, and it should confirm that this uptrend will continue. Again, confirmation, it depends on your style. Weekly confirmation was in a couple of months ago from here, and daily confirmation, obviously we don't have that yet, nor do we have the weekly confirmation of this breakout, but it does look pretty good to me. We're turning down, I would say, on the MACD, so this could easily turn around. And if we think about what we're looking at here, we're looking at a MACD which is relatively high for such a small chart, but the structure of this chart is actually pretty good. So we'll just turn our attention just very briefly to the overall market. This is the Bitcoin dominance breaking down and getting to an area of significance, right? So again, this is a bearish chart, right? But we do have reactions around 40% dominance, okay? This could lead to a Bitcoin breakout or breakdown, and basically alts will, could, as a result of how we've reacted to this area in the past, 40% dominant, alts could basically not suffer but lose their sats one way or another, whether that's in a big pullback or a breakout for Bitcoin. Alts could generally get left behind to an extent. That's generally what this means. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, because we have broken down lower in the past, and I could accept that this is getting ready to break down this time, to be honest with you. It's just that I suppose the right way to think about this is about risk to reward, and every time we do come down to a 40% dominant, we do have a good reaction. This was in a dump, so the dump happened here, and altcoins got smashed. You can see how smashed they were on the dominance chart here. This was in a form of a Bitcoin pump, and you can see how Bitcoin outperformed altcoins, largely speaking. We don't know what the market will do when it gets down to this level. It might not even do anything. We might break below there and altcoins have like an alt season or an extended rally. That's a possibility, but like I say, this doesn't mean you're going to make money in Bitcoin. It just basically is a way to reshuffle a portfolio according to a support on the dominance chart. And again, I did this over here, and it was okay. I moved into Bitcoin, and I outperformed altcoins by 20% or something like that, 25%. It wasn't an enormous repositioning, to be honest with you. I mean, the gains that I received from that, or should I say the losses that I avoided, and I suppose you can combine the two really, it wasn't enormous. But again, it's just my strategy, and it's all about risk management really, and not chasing the enormous gains. I'll be looking to do the same again when we get down to 40% dominant, obviously, because that's just the way I like to play this chart. Doesn't mean that anything dramatic will happen, and if we break down from here, then I'll reposition back into a larger altcoin position. I'm never all out, never all in. Let's just face it. I'm not talking about going crazy and going, jump into Bitcoin at 40% dominant. It just means closing some of my altcoin positions into Bitcoin prematurely, essentially, and just in case we have a bounce. But again, that's just my strategy. It doesn't have to be yours. Let's have a look at the difference here between total market cap and total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So this is excluding Bitcoin, this is including Bitcoin. You can see that altcoins are actually stronger, and the chart is ever so slightly stronger. They're more or less the same thing, but altcoins actually do they are primed for probably a bigger move than Bitcoin in general. So this is why I said, if you look at this chart, even though I will reposition some of my alts into Bitcoin at this level, in the back of my head I'm thinking that actually we do break down. Maybe not this time, but soon I think we will break down. The rule is the more times you test a support or a resistance, the more likely it is to break. So we've retested it several times. This is just a weekly chart here. So bang, 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 and coming down for a bang again. It could easily break down. Again, it is a bearish looking chart. We're turning down on it, all these indicators. This is just a weekly, by the way, but the daily will show it in a bit more obvious. We're below all major moving averages. We're trending down on the MACD. We're diverging below the 0 point. Everything about it's bearish, so there's no reason to suggest that we do bounce from here, other than the fact that we've had good reactions from that level every time we've hit it. So that's all there is to it. So again, overall, Algo's looking good. One of many coins that look pretty good. We're at the mercy of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, again, is neither here nor there. It's kind of floating in the middle of that buy zone that we established a couple of weeks ago. So the buy zone at the bottom, more or less tagged, a little bit of a drop down below it as a result of the Megatron virus coming out, which again, just as a little side note, apparently it's relatively mild, surprisingly mild, I think is the what they're saying. So might be more infectious, but it doesn't appear to be more deadly. In fact, it seems to be okay. So I think that's going to alleviate some of the fear out of the market, and the opportunity to buy the dip. Doesn't mean that that's actually what it is. It could something else could turn up, or some more developments could say, actually, we were wrong. It's actually the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But for the moment, it does appear that the Black Swan event could actually be completely avoided. But it's always worth putting it in the back of your head that Black Swan events could happen, and there is one that could potentially happen at any minute. And so you do have to think about everything in the terms of, it's like I always say this, it's like going to the bookies. Charts, TA, it's like going to the bookies placing a bet on football. You could have a 10-1 odds, right? And then there could be an upset, and the underdog could just win. Of course that could happen. Anything is possible. Just because the odds are in your favour doesn't mean that you're going to definitely come out on top. Doesn't mean that at all. So we always have to think that there are reasons why this could not be relevant, and we could break down from here. But at the moment, it doesn't look too bad, although we are still in the buy zone. A retest of 55,600, very welcome. And that's okay. There'll be a bullish retest like what we did yesterday. This is a spinning top candle body, and candle body like this basically means it could go one way or another. So again, we look at Algo and go, that's good, we're breaking out, let's put my entire life savings on this, just like a proper Wojak would say that, wouldn't they? This formation means 100% success rate. Doesn't mean that at all. It just means that a consolidation may be ending. That's all it is. But again, long term on the weekly, it still says that the trend will continue onwards. This is a long period of consolidation. We're breaking out now. It doesn't mean we're going to go straight to the moon. If we break out from here, it means that we could go into a longer period of accumulation, or we could just go straight up. There's so many variables to something as simple as this formation. That's why we measure it on the weekly as well, to go, all right, okay, so we're looking at something on the short-term time frames being a daily. And again, I don't trade these sort of things on 5-minute charts. Short-term time frames for me are daily candle bodies, which means that that for most people that's the long term. The long term is something like a weekly. We'll look at the weekly here, and the weekly's good. Weekly says we're going to continue on the weekly, so that means weeklies. That means several weeks, many weeks, months of potential opportunity for uptrend. That's all still in play. The daily is only very just today showing signs of bullishness. It's not even bullishness really, is it? It's breaking out of a long period of consolidation. Either way, Bitcoin's king. Bitcoin will decide what to do, and Algorand will follow, because it has to, because Bitcoin determines the market, and that's always why you should have Bitcoin in the corner of your eye and in the back of your mind when trading any altcoin, because at the end of the day, Bitcoin can you can have the best setup, you can have a guaranteed win on Algorand. Not that we do, but you could. And Bitcoin go, no, we're not having that, which is basically what happened this time. Anyone who was looking to trade the breakout and go, we're breaking out of Algorand, this is what, and then Bitcoin goes, no, we're not breaking out today, not on my watch, and that's basically what happens, brings us straight back. But the thing to take home about this is that we've got a strong area of support down just below $1.60. So, but again, the chart is good. We're above all major moving averages, and even the 200 and the 50, more or less throughout the entire consolidation was still diverging. So it's a good chart. I have to say, it's a good chart. Doesn't mean it's going to make you an absolute millionaire. This isn't the millionaire starter kit. I mean, it could be, but I wouldn't bank on it being a millionaire starter kit. But is it a good chart? Yeah, I like it on the weekly, and the daily is showing signs of strength here. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.